This is episode 2 of saving Drusilla. I've got the rewinder off because I've got to replace that cord. I've got a temporary kill switch on here so that if I get this mower running, I can turn it off by just pulling that string. I wanted to show you how horrible this mower is. I did scrape off a lot of the compost here and put it out in my lawn where I need some of that. There's still a lot of debris and trash around here, so that's all got to be cleaned off. I took the air filter and air filter cover off, and as you can see, it's totally shot. The air could travel around the edges of this filter and just bring dirt straight into the carburetor, which it probably has been doing for years. This mower is several years old. Let's take a look. It is from, I'll show you, this is where the number is in the front of the rewinder, right above that little front hole. And it is, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it says 03073154. And so the way Briggs does it, that is 03 means 2003, 07 means July. And so this mower was released for sale, completed on July 31st, 2003. So this mower is over 20 years old. I was looking at the filter, and while I was looking at that, I was looking at the side, and I noticed that is completely broken and rusted out. And I've had them like this before, and I don't mess with that. I just break that off. So let's see if you can saw it off, but I've found that if you just bend it back and forth until it gets heated through metal fatigue, it'll just pop off. And let's see if I can do that. So what I'm going to do is grab that and bend it towards me, and then bend it forward, back, until it snaps. I'm hoping right in there. But first I got to get this to stay up. And find a way to do that. I got to find a block or something that will, let's see, let me put my blade block on here. Maybe that'll work. Okay, that's sort of holding it up. Let's see if this thing is going to bend or not. Yep, it's not bending. It's stronger than I thought. May have to get a hacksaw for that one. I just, cut along there. It's rusted through there. It's just completely rusted out. See that? There's holes. It might be that if I can put a cut in it, that it'll bend back and forward easily. But I'm not going to waste your time on that right now. Let's get this down and deal with other things. I did reset the air gap because it was way too close. So now that looks pretty good. We have not looked underneath this mower yet, so let's do that. So I'm going to tilt this back. I'm going to push down on the handle and get this mower leaned back. Fortunately for me, it's balanced, so right now I'm not having to do anything to that. So I'm looking for critters, things that go bump in the night that might hurt me, like a wasp nest or a black widow. So I need a flashlight for that. Let's see what kind of critters I might have up in here. Look up in that corner. Looks like one little spider there. Looking up in this corner, something dangling, but too dangerous. Blade looks okay. Looks like somewhere along the way somebody put what's called a universal blade on there. That's why that gap is right there, because it's meant to fit all kinds of different adapters. This does have a drain plug. I'm always glad to see that in case I want to drain the oil out. It was low, so I put some older acceptable oil in there to at least bring it up to a decent level where I can test it. So that's all looking pretty good. I did pull the cord, and it appears to have excellent compression. Let's see. Look and see if there's any kind of wobble here. Nope, that looks good. Let's see something is clunking around up here. Wonder what that is. Oh yeah, the magnet is so strong it pulls this up and kind of goes clunk clunk. So always watch out for that. But that looks okay. The blade, of course, is super dull, so that'll have to come off. But let's go ahead and put this back down, and we're going to take off this tank and carburetor combination, because it's a pulsa jet. It's a gas tank here, and then the carburetor sits on top of the tank, which is unusual in the push mower world. But let's get that off there because it's so filthy dirty that, you know, it does work. Wonder if there's any fuel in here. Let's take a look. There is. There's some fuel in there. It's probably ancient, so that'll have to come out. So to get this off, I'm going to get a 3/8 socket, loosen that, and then a 1/2 inch is going to go in there, kind of hidden by all that debris, but that's going to come off. So this carburetor and this tank is going to come off in one piece. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me get my tripod. So we're going to remove this tank. The way to do that, like I said, is get that screw out and get that long 1/2 inch screw out. And then you can wiggle this tank kind of back and forth and round and around while pulling on it, and the whole thing will slide out. And of course you got to pay attention to this throttle spring right here, which is pretty delicate. We've got to get that off of there without breaking anything. So let's get started. I'm gonna get this tank off of here. Hold on. I'm about to get it where you can actually see what I'm doing. Well, I need to come up with a better system. This might be a little better. Let's try that. Okay, I think I have it lined up. So you can see the effort of getting this tank off of here. Yeah. So got the air filter off. Let's see how bad it is. There's some critters living up in there. Pretty weird looking. Let's see what that is. Let's get that out. This got to come out. Got a dirt dauber or spider or something. Something disgusting. Bug guts and animal guts. Get that out of there. Here's the air filter, which is, if I press that, I can feel it sort of coming apart and decomposing. So I'm going to try and pull that out without making a big mess and just throw it away. Let's see if it'll crumble like I think it will. See that? It's just breaking up into pieces. See, that filter is useless and needs to be discarded. So we'll set these two pieces aside and put a nice new filter on this mower later. So let's continue here. I'm going to get our little 3/8 head screw out using this electric drill. Alright, there's one. And now we do the 1/2 inch. Go in right here. Sometimes it's a little tough to get past the gas cap, but I'm going to kind of wind it around in there. There we go. Now it'll come out. So it's loose. I can reach in here and grab it. Get that 1/2 inch screw that holds that tank on. Okay, now we're going to start wiggling and wobbling and pulling towards us gently. Often what happens, it doesn't want to release because of this rubber boot that comes out the side of the carburetor and goes into that crankcase vent tube. So I'm going to see if I can use my screwdriver to kind of loosen that boot a little bit. There we go. And so now this should come off a little easier. Okay, there. So the tank is loose. The automatic governor linkage is right here, and so I'm going to tilt the tank this way. This piece has just fallen out of the way, that's fine. And see if I can tilt this. I'm going to go ahead and take this spring off, okay? So you pull it there like that. Give a little more operating room. So now I can really turn this and slip this off of here without breaking this piece of plastic. The governor spring is still attached to that throttle. So there it is. I'm going to set it over here in the magnetic dish, and I'm going to start cleaning this debris off of here and get this old fuel out of this tank. So that's enough for now. When you come back, we're going to continue trying to save this mower and have it be more than a parts mower.